No, not at all. Not at all. It's very strong here. I think that is a lot of potential for them in the early game in what is otherwise a very, very strong early game team, right? You look on the flip side over at Payne here, and it's very different story. Very high scaling team. The Azir Fiora, extremely late game, right? The only real early game here is Trigo on Seraphine being a little bit stronger, but I mean, you're up against Callista, so how strong are we really here? Is it just me, or does the Rift look a little dark? Not really sure what. I think that might be a clean feed thing. I'm not. I don't know what's going on there. It looks like Twilight on the Rift, like they got some kind of Twilight skin going on. Are you guys seeing what I'm
No,
saying?
I agree
Yeah,
with you.
It looks a
they,
little dark. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
it's ambiance. It's ambiance.
It
Don't worry
is
about
ambiance.
that.
It's a little bit more like a mystical feel. I like it. Like they're about to fight in the middle of the night or something. I don't know.
So let's get into it here. In the bottom lane, I'm interested to see how this Seraphine goes specifically. Because Trigo, usually this is what we see kind of Brunsey on, right? Trigo, this isn't a pick that he has played quite as much, but you're not lost for damage, right? And not as in the stat, not the player, because often a big criticism of Seraphine drafts that you see is, oh, you got your Seraphine, great. Where the hell is your damage? But you've got Fiora Wukong Azir. You're going to be just fine in that department.
Yeah, and your damage is going to be right next to you here. Trying to bodyguard Trigo here. They suspect something's up, and I love this here.
Ooh.
Yeah, the level 1 for Mumu is his strongest point.
It's
So
a
we're seeing
lot
here
of damage.
yeah, they're trying to get
Wow.
priority right away. Oh,
Yeah.
even with the wariness, they're still getting punished.
Yeah, and Trigo threw back the double Q, and Brunsey just said, "All right, bet. Like, I don't even need aftershock. I'm just gonna eat all that damage, heal up with some pots." Took commencing stopwatch as well. Like you said, RMC, that level 1. Amumu's got 2 Qs, ladies and gentlemen. A year later, those 2 Qs still hit very hard.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna finish my point here with the Seraphine too. The other thing I wanted to bring up was that Seraphine's great into Kalista because it doesn't matter if she's behind in gold. She is an econ carry. She can be built support. So worst comes to worst, the most important thing is get experience, and that's why Trigo, he's playing this so carefully. He doesn't want to step up and risk dying. The most important thing is just stay alive and soak.
Up on the top lane, both top laners taking that ghost TP, both wanting to run at you really, really quickly. Tinone's on a bit of a signature pick for him, and Dinketo on this hyperscaler. Yeah, this composition for Loud. It starts with the bottom lane, but it's like we're saying in draft. They need to find a lead very, very early, and here comes Croc trying to make it happen.
Wow.
Beautiful. Dinketo still got his flash.
That's incredible.
Incredible play initially from this mid 2v2. Couple more autos might do it. Tinone's
I think they got him.
range. Dinketo doesn't have
They
level
got
3.
him.
It doesn't matter. First blood over to Croc.
That's incredible jungle pathing here from Croc. A really, really nice level 3 gank. He clears bot side directly into mid. That's an unheard of jungle pathing in the CBLOL. Very surprising. You can see why Junkato was so far up in the lane and why he was so surprised there. Being able to block the dash on the Poppy as well is what allows Croc to take this pathing here and allows him to go for this play. He does go down, but he gets the first blood. Karaoke is over here. He drops the vision to try and catch him out. Karaoke, oh man, Croc sees it happen, man. He sweeps the ward. We're playing 4D chess right now. Karaoke was in the middle of a reverse sweep, of a reverse clear, when this happened, and is going to have to go back and start doing damage control on this clear, but he did get that return kill back into Croc. So nicely done from both junglers, but really, really well actuated by Croc.
Yeah, I think thankfully for Payne, the kills actually went to the junglers. I think if Tinones had gotten first blood there, Jinkato's in for a world of hurt. Because we said in the pregame that this was the lane we expected to see the biggest disparity. And for that matter, we also said in the pregame that Croc, hasn't been as active early. I'm glad we're seeing Yep Croc back on this map.
Yep, Croc. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a lot of fun watching him. It's getting a full clear top side here. Karaoke again. Just kind of trying to do damage control a little bit. His camps are respawning though, so he's kind of on a win track here, clearing down into the bot side. That Gromp is going to be back up actually as he arrives as well. So nicely timed. Kind of got lucky, I think, a little bit on the timing there, but that's why you go for the reverse clear, is that you always have camps up. And it opens up your options a little bit more. Croc really did need that play to succeed, or he would have been behind for the majority of the game, but he's doing okay now, and he's got the hands to make plays like this. Really exciting player. He's doing so good in the vision game as well, right?
No, both these junglers have been really, really proactive. I mean, it's a reason that that's all we've kind of talked about so far. So much so that we're seeing a dragon started at
Look
5
at
minutes
this.
and 22 seconds. Loud with a textbook early game in game 1.
What
This
on earth
is
here?
yeah.
This is why Loud, I guess, 3-0 Furia. They just feel like they know what they're doing. They came in with a game plan here. The early gank into mid, full clear down to bot side, get this dragon, and they even rotated Robo actually all the way down here as well. So there is a trade-off. You get first dragon, but Wiser's gonna get more gold, more solo, more XP. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not sure that the call was worth it. It's a good plan, but your payoff of Wiser potentially getting fed just feels so scary.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that is going right now is
Ooh,
that I
Croc
think
maybe in danger here.
you managed to yeah, well, and that's also nice is you have like the Callista Sentinels, right? Brunsey throwing those out, keeping as you do with strong lanes is you have a jungle buddy. Well, Callista could just stay at farm, throw out her E, send out the little Sentinels, and just help Croc a little bit more. Robo did put the wave in a decent spot. He's not losing. He's not getting like waves crashed into him, but he does have TP advantage. But Wiser's level 6.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's out on Fiora now, and Robo, you're so scared of a potential dive. They know Karaoke was topside as well, so Robo's got to be so scared right here.
And I think and Croc, he's shadowing his buddy here in the top side of the jungle. First dragon went over. Yeah, sending Robo down to be that bodyguard. Now as Wiser keeping the pressure on, both these top laners went for the plated steel caps immediately here as items are starting to come in. This game has started fast and furious. Brunsey on that noon quiver, but Trigo also managed to grab himself a lost chapter, CSing well enough. Croc and Tinones both hitting level 6. A massive, massive power spike for both of these champions. I mean, the entire comp of Loud spikes so dang hard at level 6.
It really does, right? And we got a little sneak peek into how that matchup goes as the shot came down up top side there. Not a good matchup at all for Robo. Very, very negative matchup. You can't fight Fiora at any stage of the game. It doesn't get better for the Olaf with the changes that were made to him this split. It just goes from bad to worse here. We see Karaoke on the invade. It's got the sweeper ticking here. Wants to try and clear out some of that vision. They're not going to meet up in the jungle. They haven't quite yet. Oh, this is a fantastic angle.
The flash.
Trigo's got level 6. Neither Brunsey nor Seos do pushed way
Oh,
the
the
heck
encore!
up. Creative pathing from Karaoke goes around the ward in the river, and that's a kill for damage. Maybe that's not ideal, but relenting some of this pressure that Loud's bot lane was just impaling into pain.
And remember that level 1 we saw? How they kind of shoved in Trigo and damage? Well, didn't matter. Trigo hit level 6 first, and that was critical. That's what called down the gang. Great synergy across the board. They call down Karaoke. They call down... They just call down the ultimates. And unfortunately for Bronze and Seos there, you're level 5. You can't match that. They just punish immediately. So great play from them. Unfortunately, we do get a pause. It looks like Wiser actually disconnected. There's been a lot of pause issues this last couple of days across pretty much all the regions here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a server-wide thing or what. I mean, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't take as long as if you were watching LCS last night.
Oh,
that
please
was
no.
absolutely horrible. 8-hour best of 5.
8 hours.
Just awful. But what a response here early from Pain. Really, really good stuff. I mean, and the pathing as well from Karaoke, right?
Yep.
Not taking that traditional path right through, right? Saying, look, we've got this level advantage. We've got a couple of huge level 6s, and neither Seos nor Brunsey with 2 massive ultimates hit their power spikes, and they punished a little bit of an overextension.
They really did, yeah. A little overextension here. Difficult to blame them though, because this is how the lane should operate, right? If you're playing the Callista Mumu, you shove in constantly. You're always auto pushing forward because any angle you can get on the enemy champions, you get a couple autos in and go for a rend. It's like 600 damage or something like that, right? So you're in a position where you're trying to fight this lane. Mumu has 2 bandage tosses, so he's got bandage tosses to miss, right? So he'll throw them at you for anything. You're in a position you can't step out of line, you can't step too close, or you get super hard punished. In that scenario, you do get pushed in consistently, and it's what you should do as the Callista Mumu lane, but it leaves you in a position where, hey, in that draft, we first picked this Callista over Wukong, and this is how we're going to pay for it. Is that Wukong is going to be behind us, and we have to do things like flash the pulverize. We have to do things like make sure we have an out here, because the reality is, even though we win this 2v2 all day long, we do not win the 3v2. We have to make sure we have an out, and unfortunately, in that play they just did not. They did not have the out. They flashed the pulverize, but Wukong was already deep behind them.
Yeah, and win, I feel like, is a very relative term here, because one of the things we kind of didn't touch on the draft too much is how the early game's going to play. Like Axe mentioned, Kalista and Mumu, that is a winning lane. That is an aggressive lane. If you're stuck in the turret with that duo, something is wrong, and you're actually very diveable. So you need to be pressuring up. And traditionally, when you've got a lane like this, your top side needs to be a lane that can hold by itself, where you don't need jungle attention. And so your jungle can look to cover your bot side when they're extending, when they're pushing. Loud don't have that, because now Robo had to go down. He's behind. He's diveable. And if anything, it comes down to mid lane a lot for the side of Loud. You've got a global. Can Tinones roam? If Tinones can't push down and cover bot, then Bronze and Seos need to be aware that, hey, we don't get to push out here. It's not safe for us. We have no cover from jungle or mid. Pain, on the other hand, that was why I was so happy to see Seraphine when I saw that Kalista locked in, because Seraphine can soak pressure all day. Have you ever tried diving a Seraphine, Alistair? Dia, our resident Seraphine expert, can tell you it's not a good idea. There's so much CC there to punish anybody who's diving them. They can hold that 2v2. We already touched on the fact that Seraphine doesn't need gold. She's more than happy to shove under turret. And that's giving Wiser the ability to push out with aggression here. And then Dinkido just needs to track. Hey, if we're feeling like bot side might be diveable, Dinkido just shoves out with the Azir, which he can do. He's got great wave clear. If bot side saying, you know what, we chilling, we good, we know where Croc is at any given point, then Dinkido is just chilling. He just sits back and just holds that wave really safely. Pain's got an easier time in terms of controlling the map, the lanes, and the pressure.
This is a Wiser. Yeah, we're back in. Hey, there we go. Not so bad on the timing there. Back on the Rift.
Absolutely. Could have been worse. Yeah, Dinkido, he's going to be that late game threat, obviously, on the Azir. And the wave management / Tinone's matching game is going to be the secondary storyline to watch. Because we've seen Tinone's, he's got an assist to his name already. Croc, kind of a one-man army here in terms of grabbing these first couple neutral objectives. If anyone in the chat could tell me, or if my co-casters could tell me, the last time we saw 2 neutral objectives taken at the 9-minute mark in CBLOL,
never. It's never happened.
I'm not going to pay him. That feels, I don't know.
It's the first time.
I'm sure it's. I don't know off the top of my head.
No, it is good. We do see this, though, is that a transition, at least from the organizations that have been involved in international competition before, is that we do see a little bit of a transition into the back end of the season and postseason towards more of an international play style, towards earlier dragons, earlier objectives. We don't. It's not country comes to town when we go to MSI, right? Like, we're not going for like the first dragon of 14 minutes or whatever, and it's not because the LVL teams have already taken it. We do try and show up and try to play that accelerated play style that you see from the LCK and LPL, and they're also not, to use the term morons. They know how to set up the vision. They know how to take Dragon at 5 minutes 30. It's just normally when you look at a regular split CBLOL game between two teams, it's just not good wave states. It's not good like a map situation to go for that early Dragon, go for those early objectives. But they can force through, as we saw the vision set up from Loud. Oh, here we go. Wiser. Now they're just going to try on the tower a little bit. And yeah, we can't see CBLOL teams do this, especially the older, bigger organizations.
I'm just going to say, man, I don't see Sivir in picks and pans. They're not going international. They need to figure out how to play Sivir here. Now, we are seeing Loud kind of bounce back a little bit. Robo has the item advantage. And where is Croc going? Okay, you know what? I love this. This is Renska Croc. This is Netshoes minus Croc. This is the Croc that is super exciting. It can win you games and can throw you games. You're just trying to get that prio around the dragon. It did just spawn here. And I actually think that Pain might want to think about giving this one up. I am not confident that they can get this. And Loud, with that Herald drop as well. That is not typical of Brazil, but it is very beautiful to watch.
Oh, it's so good. So much value for this team. So much gold right now. They're going to get this dragon here as well. Karaoke maybe for the steal, but he's going to have to wade through a lot of stuff here. Drops the ward.
I think they might try to just get something on the back of it. Yeah, that was a very long range steal attempt. Seos might be looking for something here. If he was in Q range, maybe he goes for that. There is a bit of a numbers advantage, right? I mean, Tinones was ready to roam down there. Weiser was back in base. Robo finds himself in the mid lane. They're covering Croc's tracks really, really nicely in this early game.
Yeah. Oh, hold up.
Yeah, a little
Is
bit
it
of
the
trading
retreat?
here. Karaoke, max range. There's a Wombo
Oh,
Combo
Tinones!
ultimate, and
Oh,
Karaoke on the
wow.
board for good here. Tino's joining the party, but is it too little too late? Looks like he's going to
Gonna
grab
grab
a
this.
kill onto Karaoke. Indeed, he will. Seos
Oh!
drops the curse of the sad mummy, going to lock up damage
Oh,
just
no.
enough time. Croc shovels the Yordle, right, or the monkey, excuse me, back into Tino's 2 for the loud mid laner.
Honestly, damage probably could have gone out. He had flash ready and available, and I guess in all that madness, in all that chaos, he didn't see the seismic shove coming out below him from Tinones here. Now,
Nice
in
axe,
terms,
dude.
I mean, Ro was just looking here. I do want to highlight though that despite that dragon play right now, it did mean that Weiser again got time in that top side. And considering the situation here, this was actually a 3v3 to start. Tinone's powers, and it should have been a 4v3. So Loud should have won this handily. The fact that you're trading 2 for 2 at the end of the day is not a great sign for Loud. Again, I want to talk about lane pressure and states. Tinone having to leave. Every time he has to leave, that's minions he loses. And Dinkedo did actually have push when that happened. So Tinone's missed an entire wave and a half.
Was able to grab 2 kills, both mid laners on their mythics right now. But you see what RMC was saying reflected in that CS discrepancy. But Tinones, 2 of the items in his inventory. Yes, one is from runes. It's that stopwatch, and then with the CDR boots, right? He's looking to be a playmaker, and he's got as well the Tear of the Goddess. Just a little bit of dead weight right now in the inventory, but that's going to come good soon enough here. Grabbing the Ludens, excuse me, why they're actually popping the grand challenge here. Hold that thought. Oh, good
Ooh, come
repulsion.
on now.
Not
There we
good
go.
enough. Robo didn't even need level 11. Just absolutely mauled Weiser in the top lane. Solo bolo.
Yeah, can't dodge that E. That's not an auto attack. That's a spell, baby. That goes off no matter what. It's gonna follow you through the flash. So Weiser takes all that true damage directly to the face. I'd love a graphic on who did the most true damage in that fight. I'd imagine it'd be Robo, but it'd probably be close.
Oh, wow.
Great teleport. Loud is playing so well, man. There's so much to talk about here. The vision game they are playing, the macro game, of course, just the objectives they're being able to take right now. I mean, Dunkato and Karaoke have been hitting the spot lane turret for the past 2 minutes, and it's just nothing, man. Nothing is happening, and they are just barely able to trade back 1 turret RMC.
Yeah, I mean, they are not the same in terms of.
Ooh,
Oh, it's the 2
Seos
turrets.
with the max range Q. He's got another one to drop the curse of the sad
What?
mummy immediately. Tinones has got 3 kills.
Oh,
Double
no
kill coming out
Trigo.
from Trigo, but he might be dead meat here. Everyone and their mother has walked up into the top lane. It's a party in the top lane. Everyone from Loud is invited, and no one from Pain.
I was gonna make the point that
Incredible.
Robo Tinones are not the same as Karaoke and Kiddo in terms of being able to take turrets, but it's the entire team that's not the same. This TP is so risky. I was actually scared the TP would complete to come through because that's a 2v1 situation. You would have no turret here. Pain able to answer back, but it just feels a little bit scarier to me for Pain. That the fact that Loud is the one diving between turrets, they seem to have realized that, hey, we don't outscale this Fiora, this Azir, this Seraphine. We need to make these plays early, and they are doing exactly that.
And on their way out, you talk about, okay, if you get some sort of push, drop some words on your way out, take some jungle camps on your way out. Thank you very much. Here's a party favor. How about grabbing that second Rift Herald?
Yeah.
At the 15-minute mark? 2 dragons, 2 towers, and 2 heralds as well for Loud. But Pain have responded in kind. They've got 2 towers of their own, only down 2,000 gold.
Dragging up in under a minute now. We'll see Loud continue their blitzkrieg early game objectives. Robo takes another turret, man. It is just an onslaught here on Summoner's Rift. Loud putting on the blitz for them. They're going to have to ban some of these champions, but it really is just like drafting an early game team comp and then running it down and executing it perfectly. You can't ban that, right? Too many champions for that. They take all of the outer turrets now. They're looking for that inner one down bot side as well. As Painter staring down the barrel of a pre-20-minute Nexus explosion, they have to stop the bleeding somehow, RMC.
Okay.
Oh,
Seos.
what?
Seos is looking for a flank. Here comes the TP. Robo got in, got the kill, and got the heck out. Well, almost able to walk away with a kill. Their first one is Dinketo. TP down. That's a big shutdown.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of overzealous. Loud were in perfect position, like Axe was saying, they're pressuring multiple lanes. They can fall back on Dragon as well. And now you're fighting an equal fight in numbers. Wiser isn't the key. I mean, the other engage.
Whoa.
Or the
Oh, the
Encore
encore.
going out. Trigo with a big ultimate croc. Taking Dinketo out of the fight. He didn't use his ultimate just yet, but Loud running out of damage here. Great stopwatch from one side. Is it good enough on the other side? Sales gets popped immediately coming out of the stasis. There's the Shurima shuffle. Double for Dinketo. He's got 3 kills in 2 minutes, and they want the chase. Wiser is sprinting. Pop TP. Pop Ghost. How about an epic to the dome? Tino says, see ya. I want no part of this. Pain answer back.
Going from bad to worse here for Loud. We were just saying no need to fight, fall back, and then they instantly re-engage. And I don't blame them. They thought they had the information, the knowledge. They didn't. Oh my goodness.
Wait a second here.
He gets very low. Right. He smited for it, but goes down actually to Tinones over the wall. Oh, he's got to be careful here. Wiser doesn't have Ghost, but one headbutt pulverize could spell the end damage. Not going to find his man.
Tinones versus the world right now. Tinones 4-0-2. The only one who hasn't died, having to do a lot of work in this. And now we get the replay. And again, Seos, beautiful Curse of the Sad Mummy, thought he found everybody. But what you've got to remember is why Seraphine is the queen of disengage. You fight in a choke point, there is no fight. The Encore catches almost everybody there. And for Loud, yeah, great. You got the Curse of the Sad Mummy, 0 follow-up. It also bought Dinketo enough time to come in from that turret. It should have been a numbers advantage for Loud. It wasn't. And then finally, because Wiser dropped first, Wiser rejoins the fight first. And what should have been a free Dragon for Loud ends up going into the pockets of Pain. It's critical too, because that was sole point.
Absolutely. And we talked about Pain have to stop the bleeding. This is Pain stopping the bleeding, right? They're stabilized now. They're doing okay. It's just a 1,000 gold lead between the two teams is the difference there. And if anything, I think this last fight was Loud suffering from success. They get the pick on a Wiser. They go for the big objective. They go for the team fight and the choke point. This works at 35 minutes, right? 100% works. For starters, you're fighting 5v4, very strong position there. You eat that Encore, but things like, your Mumu being tankier gets you the kill on the karaoke there. Bronze having 3 items gets you the kill onto Dinketo there. Maybe you don't get the kill on a Wiser because of your 35-minute Fiora, but the thing is, Wiser doesn't come back up. Right? He's on a minute cooldown timer. He doesn't come back up. It's always a 5v4. You get tons of value out of that, but we're not at 35 minutes. We're at like 16 minutes or something was that fight. Wiser came back up in 20 seconds, was able to teleport back onto the fight, get the double kill down there, and it's total disaster for Loud. They have to work quickly now if they want to reestablish that lead because, as always, Pain are scaling super, super hard.
And Dinketo, he went into that previous fight with everything in his inventory except a death cap. He came out of that skirmish with a death cap and into this kind of, you've got 1.5 tanks here. You've got Robo in the top lane, just slamming that damage immediately is going to hit very, very hard. Loud still in the lead here as far as gold. It's 1,000. And it's all kind of like you were saying, RMC. It's all on Tinones. It's Tinones versus the world. The fights have gotten a little more disjointed, a little bit greedy here, but Loud still in control for now.
And I think the next Dragon fight will be the most critical fight between these two teams. We're seeing that Loud are getting now stalled out on these turret pushes. Yes, they're getting some damage down, but it's very, very risky. They need a fight on open ground. And if Pain were to win this next fight here, they're in a really, really strong position. Oh, I think Croc might have been baited.
Yeah, he certainly might have flashed away. Dodges the headbutt. Karaoke in with the ultimate. Seos and Tinones there for backup just in case. But Karaoke, no ultimate. That's actually all that was blown there, but Croc with no flash. Wow. Does have the Hex Flash, though. Robo making things happen on the other side of the map. He's got his TP up, and that's what you got to do. Now a 2-tower advantage for Loud. Brunsey picking up his second item as well.
Yeah, and this does go into you have to fight over vision, right? If you're going to have this play style where, hey, we fight over every objective, we try to force objectives like this, you have to do what Croc just did. You have to fight over vision because you give up vision, you give up objectives. And you're right, he does get baited a little bit in here. I think we look forward at like Worlds or something like that. Croc dies there against the international team, against a major region team. But here, yeah, Karaoke damage. They missed some key abilities. They blow the ultimate maybe a little bit early there for Karaoke, and they're not able to track him down. So, some summoners burn on both sides. I'd still like to see them fight around this Baron. I think we probably see Loud transition to more of a dragon movement here.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about watching Robo split push right now. I feel like that was how in 2021 Pain won a lot of their games, and now that I'm seeing it on the other side of the map here, where Loud's pushing, I do think it's a very strong win con for the side of Loud. Wiser right now, he is still down a level. He
Oh.
is not ready to. Hello, Dinketo.
Ooh,
Okay.
interesting.
That will come back and bite them.
Yeah,
On
that's a
that.
stopwatch. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
tough.
hasn't completed yet. Okay, I hope he gets enough gold, because if not, that's actually going to be massive. Now, I want to go back to that bot side 1v1 for now, because it links back to that Baron fight that we're seeing for Vision here. Robo is still up from Wiser. Wiser can't quite win the 1v1 yet, and that does mean that Robo's a little bit scarier. Karaoke is cut off.
Croc in immediately. Dinketo not quite in the fight yet. Here comes the TP. Wiser didn't pop the ghost immediately like last time, but a big ultimate blown again. Got Karaoke's ultimate. That's a big one, but it's
Dragon's
not
up.
like Pain are short of game-changing ultimates on their side. Walking another choke point. I feel like we've seen this one before. Wiser
Okay.
going to take the cheeky
Whoa.
Hex Tech portal over. He wants to flank, so
No,
Loud
he's
stand
just
right
out.
on site right now, but another fight into a choke point for Loud. Damage is low, damage is down. There goes the Shurima shuffle. Dinketo
Oh.
still alive for now, but goes down to Brunsey, playing this fight very, very well. Shut down onto Dinketo. Trigo and Karaoke had to get the heck out of the fight. Tinones and Robo were running riot in that one. 2 for 2. Didn't feel like a fight that Loud should have won, but they come out on top.
Well, Dinketo regrets burning that stopwatch then. If he had it in that fight, I think they actually could have won it. You can see it's still kind of even, and there's still a chance for a steal.
Yeah, still a
Trigo
chance
looking
for a steal
something.
here.
Wiser, no. It will be soul point secured by Loud. It's a 3v3. Tino trying to get the CC down. Just get the damage. Wiser doesn't find anything. Gruncy kiting this very, very well. Trigo
Oh my
can't do much
goodness.
when there's a Robo on top of you. Shut down for Tinones as well. What a gold swing for Loud. They make it a 4K advantage.
Absolutely massive here, and they are just running away with this game. We're not even at the 25-minute mark. They will be able to rotate over and convert this as well, all 5 members, into the Baron play. I don't think you can go for the steal here. I think the Kalista just takes it a little bit too quickly, and they won't have that opportunity, but really, really nicely played from Loud. You saw Wiser teleporting there with the Hex Gate onto the back line. That initiated the situation. Get the replay here, where the only way out for Brunsey is through. You'll see that as we look at the fight here. So Seos is in, you get the ultimate down. Brunsey thinks, okay, cool, I'm here. I need to be through them, or Wiser is going to be on me in the next 3 seconds. You see it? He's like, oh, no, no, no. He goes through them, and he's able to get onto the back line of Pain Gaming. Wiser's like, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough bodies. I can't solo this guy. And at the end of the day, not a good Hex Gate, I don't think.
No,
I don't think that was good for him.
Not at all. And you can actually see people traveling the Hex Gate as well. So Seos, and this is why we praise that veterancy of Seos, right? The moment they see that happening, Seos like, oh, well, we've got a numbers advantage. We do this. And the other big problem is Robo. I was scared of Robo in the 1v1. Well, it turns out we should be terrified of him in the team fights as well. He is literally unstoppable. Just goes charging in here. And all the CC in the world doesn't matter. Sure, you get a great encore. Robo doesn't care. You drop the divide, Emperor's Divide. Again, doesn't care. Knockback can't do that. Ragnarok just too OP. And now Loud, we had said they need a lead and they need to keep snowballing. They've got that lead and they are not letting up the pressure. They have not let off the pressure since that 15-minute mark.
No, there have been some ups and downs. There have been a couple of questionable moments, but whether it was the stopwatch, whether it was a well-timed ult by Robo, I mean,
Not the
a little bit of
stopwatch, man.
everything. And now Loud, their first kind of real advantage of the game, because up until this point, we were praising, and rightly, everything that Loud was doing. It was a pedal to the metal early game for them, but always with the caveat of, well, Pain kind of got some stuff back. Well,
Tinones.
Pain outscaled. Tinones going to drop the Weaver's wall down. Karaoke clones over it. But just for a little bit here, was hoping for a pick. Keeper's verdict out from Croc. Held it, so that cooldown's coming up in just a little bit. Robo in his own lane. Getting a lot out of this Baron. You'd like to crack the base if you can.
Yep.
But Pain putting together a valiant defense here. The wave clear's pretty good for the side of Pain. As the Baron up cannon minions keep wailing away on this tower. Robo's doing his thing in the mid lane.
Oh my
Trigo pops the
goodness.
stopwatch. There goes the Keeper's Verdict. Just wide of the bandage toss. Man, Sales almost had what could have been the fight initiator there, but
it's
he's going
enough.
to find the ultimate there. Karaoke has to ult out of there. Getting hoovered up by the Callista is Sales. He wants more, though. Gets popped immediately.
Whoa.
Wasn't able to capitalize on it, but Dinones is going to grab himself a kill on a support of his own. Grab an inhib, grab a tower. How about you grab 2 for your money?
Oh, and this is really bad for Pain here. Their composition, like you said, 4x4 has really good wave clear, but Baron was still in play. And for Pain, all you were doing was praying, let's get past this Baron. Please, let us get past this Baron. If you get past the Baron, you're golden, you're good, you're fine. But Loud, I want to highlight how they set that play up. It was Robo split pushing. And unfortunately, no one can answer Robo here.
No.
The moment they get distracted with the poke that can come down from Tinones and to a lesser degree, even Poppy just walking in Q or walking in auto attack with that ranged passive and walk away. That's all they needed to do. And they just keep fishing. The moment they catch anybody, you got to walk away and Robo gets free turret. And now that the base is cracked open 4x4, they can't defend these inhibitors.
No, it's going to be really tough.
They can't. Is he take the recall? Yeah, I think he takes the recall here. Dunketo's going to back off. Yeah. Good instincts there not to push up there. Because why would you expect Robo to be there, right? There's just no way. But does have teleport up in the next few seconds. We'll be able to teleport onto this objective. I think he just walks. I think they probably stall this out. You can see the vision setup they have here. Lots of control wards set up in various avenues. Yeah, they're just so ahead at this point that the 7K gold lead, I don't think even fighting in the channel is all that difficult for them. I think it just gives them more credence to Seos' big ultimate he has up, able to get down onto 2 or 3 members, and that really will end the fight for them right there. Brunsey coming through with the 3-item damage, and should be the end there. Robo just marching forward. Here's the wall.
Yeah, Weiser is nowhere to be found. He's going to be a little late to the fight, and with a beautiful Weaver's Wall, they're going to get a pick on 1, and Karaoke might follow suit here. Weiser is here, but is it soon enough? Beautiful Curse of the Sad Mummy. He's got a Zonias as well. Amumu's got some sneaky high AP ratios, ladies and gents. There goes the Encore. It gets nobody. It just gets Brunsey, and the rest of Loud are running riot on Dinketo. He's going to take his soldiers out of there, but Tino's with the flash, and the Q is going to get the job done. They might be looking to end here. If Weiser steps too far forward, Croc and Sales have the CC to take him down. Double B drop is going to delay the inevitable here. Weiser going for the hero play. He's not going to find anything. Gets rent from Summoner's Rift. How about Loud? Faizueli. Loud had not won a single best of 5 before this split, but they take down Pain in game 1 of their first grand finals.
Oh, it's so fun, man. It's so much fun to watch. It's that lower bracket momentum, like you're talking about, man. They just bring the pain early on in the game. Huge early game comp here coming through. The Olaf just so big.